The warship known across the region as the Silver Crest drifted quietly above a gray planet. The crew inside moved with quick steps, their armor shining under blue lights. The ruling species of the ship, known for their tall frames and luminous skin, carried themselves with noble pride. Their empire had a long history of mistrust toward humans. They believed humans were reckless and unpredictable, a species driven by instinct rather than reason. Stories had spread that humans fought too fiercely, protected too stubbornly, and cared too deeply, which to many alien leaders seemed dangerous. Inside a chamber near the center of the ship, the Queen of the Silver Crest stood before a curved window. She was tall, elegant, and wrapped in layered silver cloth that flowed around her like rising mist. Her name was Mira, and she ruled her people for many cycles with calm judgment. Yet today she was restless. Her daughter, a young heir named Ryla, had vanished hours earlier during a diplomatic visit on the planet below. No group had claimed responsibility. No signal had been traced. No clue had been found. The Queen waited for news that seemed too slow to arrive. A guard stepped into the chamber. His voice carried weight, but also caution as he addressed the Queen with a bow. "Your Majesty, the search teams continue to sweep the region. We have no report yet." Queen Myra did not turn her head. Her gaze remained fixed on the gray planet. Her voice was quiet but steady. "Find her." The guard bowed again and stepped back. The Queen remained still, but worry tugged at her thoughts. Rila was clever, curious, and kind, yet too adventurous for her own safety. Myra feared the dangers of an unfamiliar world. She feared the motives of strangers. And more than anything, she feared the possibility that someone wished to gain power by harming the Air Dot as she stood thinking. Another message arrived through the comms. The ship commander hurried toward the Queen, his steps fast, his expression tense. "Your Majesty, we received a signal from the surface. It is faint, but we can confirm it came from your daughter's communicator." Queen Myra turned sharply, her heart tightening. "Trace it." "We already did," the commander said. "And there is something else." The signal included a voice. A human voice. Myra's eyes narrowed. "A human?" "Yes, Majesty." Her distrust rose like a cold wave. She had met a few humans. Some were polite, some spirited, some unpredictable. But she never believed one would be involved in the disappearance of her daughter. And yet the thought now stood before her as a troubling possibility. "Bring them," she commanded. Moments later, the Silver Crest prepared for the arrival of a shuttle from the surface. Soldiers in polished armor gathered near the landing bay. Weapons stayed low but ready. The Queen stood at the top of the platform, tall and still as carved stone. Her presence demanded silence. The shuttle door opened. A human stepped out, carrying a young alien girl in his arms. She clung to him tightly, her small hands gripping his jacket. Dirt covered her clothes. A scratch marked her cheek. But she was safe. Her mother saw the rise and fall of her daughter's breath and felt a jolt of relief. Hidden beneath her proud posture, the human walked slowly, careful not to make sudden movements. He could feel the weight of hostile eyes on him. His name was Tom, a simple engineer who worked at a supply outpost on the planet. He had no rank, no weapon, and no plan except to bring the lost girl to safety. When he reached the platform, the child lifted her head and looked toward her mother. Her small voice echoed across the hall. "He helped me, Mother." Myra's expression shifted, but only slightly. Her hand lifted, and her daughter rushed forward to cling to her. Myra placed a gentle hand on the girl's back. Only after feeling her warmth did she turn her gaze toward the human before her. Tom waited quietly, not knowing what reaction would follow. The armored guard stepped forward, ready to seize him. But the Queen lifted her hand. The guards froze. She looked at Tom with sharp eyes. You found my daughter? Explain. Tom straightened his shoulders. He spoke simply, without flourish. She wandered away from the camp near the ridge. I was checking equipment when I heard her calling for help. I followed her voice. She had fallen into a narrow pit. I pulled her out. Then I saw creatures moving in the trees. I picked her up and ran until we found a safe place. The queen listened without interrupting. Her daughter nodded firmly beside her. He protected me, Rila said. He did not leave me even when the creatures chased us. Is this true? The queen asked, turning to her child. Rila nodded again. Myra studied the human. He was not tall compared to her people. His clothes looked worn from work. His hands carried dust. But his eyes held an honest steadiness she did not expect. You carried her across the ridge? She asked. Yes, he answered. And you risked yourself for her? There wasn't much time to think, Tom said. She was scared. It was the right thing to do. His answer was simple, even plain, yet something about it stirred the queen. Her guards would have taken time to assess the threat, call for backup, and form a protective circle. Her officers would have considered the danger before acting. But this human, with no protection and no authority, acted without delay. She felt her daughter's hand tighten around her arm. Mother. He stayed with me the whole time. The queen lowered her gaze. Human, she said in a calm voice. You understand that returning the heir of this ship carries political weight. You stepped before me not only as a rescuer, but as a figure in a moment that could alter how our people see yours. Tom swallowed. He did not like politics. He did not ask for attention. All he wanted was to help a frightened girl and return to his quiet job. I only did what anyone should do, he replied. A murmur spread through the hall. Some aliens frowned, some glared, and some studied him with confusion. Few of them believed that a human acted purely out of compassion. Their history was filled with suspicion. Yet the queen sensed no deception in his voice. Walk with me, she said. Rila held her mother's hand and tugged. Can he stay for a moment, mother? Myra looked down at her daughter. She rarely allowed outsiders near the inner chambers. But her daughter's voice was warm and sincere. She decided this human deserved at least a fair hearing. The queen led Tom through a wide corridor lined with symbols of her people's history. Silver lines danced along the walls, forming shapes that told old stories of conflict and alliance. Rila walked between them, speaking with more energy now that she felt safe again. He carried me when my legs hurt, she said softly. And he told a silly joke to make me forget the fear. Tom scratched his neck. He did not expect his temporary attempt at cheering her up to reach the queen's ears. Myra glanced at him. A joke? Tom nodded awkwardly. It was the only thing I could think of to keep her calm. The queen continued walking. Her steps slowed slightly as she considered the moment. Her daughter rarely trusted strangers. Yet she spoke of the human with comfort and gratitude. It meant something. They entered a quiet chamber. Guards remained outside. The queen turned to Tom. You stand in a place where few humans have ever been, she said. Our trust is not easily given. I understand, Tom replied. Still, you acted with honor, she said. You protected my child. You carried her when she could not walk. You stayed when danger followed. Such actions earn respect. Tom exhaled slowly. Part of him relaxed, though he still felt the weight of the room. I didn't expect anything in return, he said. That is clear, the queen replied, which makes your actions even more noteworthy. Rila stepped forward. Mother, can he return to the planet safely? Tom blinked. He had not even thought that the ship might refuse to let him leave. But her question suddenly made him wonder. The queen nodded. He will be escorted safely. No harm will come to him. Rila smiled and took Tom's hand for a moment before stepping back toward her mother. The gesture surprised Tom and captured the Queen's attention. Myra realized her daughter felt safe with him, not because of duty or rank, but because of genuine kindness. And that was rare. "Human," the Queen said. "Tell me your name." "Tom." She nodded slowly. "Tom, what you did today may change how my people speak of yours. We believed humans acted for power, for gain, or for personal victory. Yet you acted out of simple decency." Tom shrugged. "I just did what I hoped someone would do if it were my child." The Queen looked at him with a thoughtful expression. "I see." Rila reached up and touched her mother's arm. "Mother, he is kind." "Yes," Mira said. "I believe he is." She stepped closer to Tom. "You will not be forgotten. And if you ever find yourself in danger, speak my name to any of my people. They will protect you." Tom nodded, unsure how to respond to such a powerful promise. "Thank you," he said. The Queen gave a slight nod. "Honor goes to those who act with courage. Today, that honor is yours." Guards entered to escort him back to the landing bay. Rila waved to him, her smile bright and sincere. Tom waved back before stepping out of the chamber dot as the doors closed. Queen Myra looked at her daughter. "You trust him," she said. "R." Lele nodded. "He is a good person." The Queen held her daughter close. "Then today, we have learned something important." Tom returned to the shuttle with steady steps. He did not know that stories of his actions would spread through the ship within hours. He did not know that the Queen would speak his name in council, or that his simple act would reshape the beliefs of a people who held humans at arm's length. He only knew he had helped a child who needed him. And sometimes he thought that was enough.